Back in Salt Lake City, Utah, we're set for the introduction of the Hertz starting lineup.
Rolando Blackman. Number 32, a 6'11" center forward from Ohio State, Herb Williams. Number 42, a 6'9" forward from Indiana, Eric Anderson. Wearing number 44, 6'5" guard from North Carolina, Hubert Davis. And number 50, 6'2" guard from UNLV, Greg Anthony. The starters for the Knicks tonight at forward, wearing number 14 at 6'7" from Tennessee State, Anthony Mason. Starting forward, number 34 at 6'9" from Virginia Union, Charles Oakley. The starting center, number 33 at 7 feet from Georgetown, Patrick Ewing. On the guard line, number 3 at 6'5" from Oklahoma State, John Starks. And at guard, number 25 at 6'4" from Marquette, Glenn Doc Rivers. The Knicks are coached by Pat Riley, assisted by Dick Carter, Jeff Van Gundy, their trainer Mike Sanders, assisted by Jim Walsh.
And a loose ball foul call. It's on Oakley. Utah Saturday night here at home defeated Charlotte 122-108. They outscored the Hornets 41-17 in the first quarter. They led by as many as 25. Hornets did come back, but Utah held on for the victory. Here's Malone. Over Oakley.
That's a home court kind of shot. Karl Malone went up sideways to the basket, turned in the air, and made that jumper. He's very familiar with these surroundings.
Oakley and Malone with the rebound. Karl Malone coming off a 35-point, 14-rebound game in 47 minutes against Charlotte on Saturday. And now Malone working against Mason.
Whoever gets down court quicker, whether it be Mason or Oakley, seems to be the one who will pick up Karl Malone.
Recall the circumstances last season when the Knicks visited Utah. That man with the ball, Doc Rivers, who hits on the three, did not play in the game. It was right after the melee that broke out in Phoenix. Doc Rivers involved along with Kevin Johnson and Greg Anthony, and Rivers suspended, did not play. We're talking about it with Doc earlier. He ended up watching the game in a department store window here in Salt Lake City as Mason is able to give the Knicks a 5-2 lead.
Yes, that was quite clear to Doc Rivers as he joined us walking into the arena tonight. He recalled that with a smile now. Meanwhile, the Knicks had a beautiful sequence of passing the basketball, which led to that last hoop.
And here's Rivers delivering to Oakley. It counts, and the foul. The rookie Brian Russell got a piece of Charles Oakley as he swept by, and Oakley will go to the line.
Good movement of the basketball by the Knicks. Doc Rivers going to the middle of the court where ball handlers go to spread the defense out. Charles just breezes in and gets that light foul, which didn't bother him.
You know what I really took exception to? Doc was telling us earlier that he watched last season's Knicks-Utah game played here in Salt Lake City in the window of Macy's, I believe he said. And you asked him, what do you think of the color commentator? There was no audio, John. He was outside the store. You would deliver that question.
Doc is a very smart guy, Marv. He heard that game.
The rejection, and Malone able to get it back. Pass intended for Spencer, knocked away by Starks. Karl Malone inbounding. Finding Russell, rejected by Ewing. And Ewing, with too much dribble, coughed it up. Karl Malone. Fouled by Rivers. Well, Patrick Ewing came up with the terrific block, but then got carried away and gave it right back.
I don't think I've seen him do that, certainly not this season. I mean, he wanted to fly and lead a break and paid the price for it after that great block. See that move inside now. Ewing just puts that away. That was Felton Spencer. Now this is an area that has become a big problem for Karl Malone, and that is foul shooting. He's below 70% from the line this year, a problem that bothered him in his early days in the NBA, but he became a much better shooter as time went along, but he's reverted now.
Karl Malone averaging just under 26 points per game. Yes, he's just under 70% from the line. The Knicks 7, the Jazz 4 with 2.5 minutes gone by. First of a 3-game West Coast trip for the Knicks. They play the Lakers at the Forum tomorrow, then on to Golden State on Thursday. Ewing tried the reverse. Ewing with the rebound and draws the foul. Patrick Ewing very active here in the opening minutes. Felton Spencer called for that foul.
That was Ewing reaching over to Charles Oakley, who delivered that beautiful pass inside to Patrick, who fortunately for him, after missing the shot, kept in pursuit of that ball for the offensive rebound.
Felton Spencer in the starting lineup. Mark Eaton, who had been the starting center over the years for Utah, out indefinitely with a back problem. Jay Humphries also sidelined, pulled hamstring, and David Benoit out with a partially torn hamstring. So this an injury hit club, although they have played well as of late.
The man to watch tonight is Byron Russell, number 34, who's guarded by Mason. Like that, Brian Russell. He has come on for David Benoit and filled in tremendously.
Right off the steal, Jeff Malone for Karl Malone. And the game is tied at 8. Oakley posting up on Russell. Nice move. Charles Oakley going right at Brian Russell. Brian Russell, second-round draft pick out of Long Beach State. Very active body, very aggressive. Gordon Chiesa, the assistant coach for the Utah Jazz, comparing him to Tyrone Corbin in terms of his all-around skills, but not as good an offensive threat as Corbin. Stockton. Well, they want John Stockton to shoot the jump shot more frequently. That's the kind of shot they'd like, particularly when it goes in, but they like him to look for more opportunities. Here's Starks for 3. Karl Malone off the boards.
Rare to see Stockton on the end of a long pass as he was for that jump shot.
Game tied at 10. 4 minutes gone by. Spencer lost it. Rivers fires down 2-on-1, and Oakley puts it away. Nicely done as the Knicks take advantage with Utah not getting back.
Charles always cuts across the basket and seems to lose his balance every time. Fortunately, he made that one.
Well, Stockton beat Rivers off the dribble. Doc thought he was pushed off. Utah ties it at 12. Anthony Mason posting up on Karl Malone. 3-second violation on the Knicks.
Now this is going to be tough for Anthony Mason to set up his offensive intentions down low with Karl Malone on him. Malone is so much bigger and at least as strong as Anthony Mason. So Mason may want to create a little space between Karl Malone and himself.
Jeff Malone. And again, the Knicks to the open floor. Starks. And that'll be a goaltend. The Knicks got a break. That was not going in. So the basket counts and the foul.
There's John Starks feeling he can go left hand, which he does. Got the benefit of that goaltend.
Timeout called. Knicks lead by 2.
A reminder from Budweiser. Knicks running here in the first quarter against the Utah Jazz and having some success. No dribbling, just passing. Charles Oakley passes up that layup that he could have gone right up to, but still made it, although he bumped himself as he hit the floor.
And John Starks completes the three-point play, giving the Knicks a 15-12 lead. Karl Malone now being guarded by Charles Oakley. Stockton worked off the pick. This is Felton Spencer moving inside. Well, he backed Ewing away and was able to take advantage.
Patrick very sensitive, it would seem, to getting fouls called on him. I mean, he gave ground.
The Knicks lead is 1. Starks had it knocked away. Rivers for 3. So the ball goes back to Utah. Last season, both Karl Malone and John Stockton appear to be fatigued by the long grind, particularly long for them going back to their Olympic participation with the Dream Team. And John, now the question is, as it has been posed the last couple of years, is time running out on this dynamic duo of Karl Malone and John Stockton? Malone in his 9th season, Stockton in his 10th year.
Marv, it seems to people watching the Jazz closely that this has to be the year while these two fellows are at their peak. Although they are not a championship contending team by any means, but they're getting close to the end now to play at the level they've been playing at anyway.
Still a very solid ball club, but I don't think the surrounding players are in place. Last year, 47-35. They finished 3rd in the Midwest. That's where they are right now, behind Houston and San Antonio. Crowd looking for travel. Mason is stripped. Mason recovers, and then it's batted away. Recovered by Mason, who finds you know, he actually lost the handle, but was still able to hit.
Well, Patrick doesn't have the big, huge hands that a 7-footer would have, and he's got to be a little careful, but he came through it fine.
Knicks lead by 3. They double up on Stockton. 5.5 remaining in the first quarter. Karl Malone given the room. And the rebound on the hop, handled by Mason. Rivers dishes it down. Starks gets inside. And now Utah with a 4-on-2. Spencer in a collision and a blocking foul called on Ewing.
Spencer getting into the paint area there with no problem. John Stockton picks him up without a problem either. Patrick Ewing in that dunk moments ago, fortunately he was up so high, all he had to do was come down while still controlling that basketball.
Felton Spencer missed the first, barely got a piece of the rim. He is a poor free throw shooter at 64%. Last season for Utah, a disappointing finish after the 3rd place windup in the playoffs. They're knocked off by Seattle 3-2. They had a weak second half of the season. Starks with a strong drive. The Knicks lead 19-15. Utah went 20-21 over the second half, and they dropped down to 3rd place in the Midwest Division. And many said because of the fact that both Stockton and Malone were fatigued. Jeff Malone bringing the Jazz within 2.
Well, Marvin, the prior 3 years, prior to last year's 47 wins, they had averaged 54 wins a year. So people have been watching this decrease in victories of last year very carefully, feeling that they needed new blood. But they've got some good new blood now. And this is an example. Tyrone Corbin, who's been with them a while, has become a more important player.
And Corbin has replaced the rookie Brian Russell. So Corbin, Spencer, and Malone up front.
Tom Chambers, who we'll see, I'm sure, shortly, has added a lot to the Jazz this year.
Stockton leading Karl Malone. Ewing with the sweeping rebound. A wild pass. Starks, a blur as he moved by Stockton. John Starks, head down, was able to pull his way past John Stockton. The Knicks lead 21-17. 7 points for Starks. Just under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. A legal defense call for the first time. And substitutions for the Knicks. Pat Riley inserting Greg Anthony and Anthony Bonner for Doc Rivers and Anthony Mason. Anthony Bonner coming off a very strong game against his former club, the Sacramento Kings, on Saturday in New York. 6 for 10, 17 points, 8 rebounds for Bonner.
In only 24 minutes. Big numbers.
Malone fouled. The basket counts. No, it does not count. 3-second violation. It's on Felton Spencer. And a Utah substitution. John Crotty will make his first appearance. John Crotty in a second year from Virginia. Now the substitution being waved off. Jim Clark saying either you have to make the substitution or take a 20-second timeout or a full timeout. And Jerry Sloan has taken a 20 with 3:43 remaining. And this first quarter, apparently Karl Malone drawing some blood. That's the reason for the explanation that Malone either would have to be sub 4 or timeout would have to be taken, and the Jazz taking that timeout. A reminder, tomorrow here on MSG, it'll be the Knicks and the Lakers from the Forum in Inglewood. Pat Riley makes his return. Knicks game night at 10 o'clock. That's tomorrow night from the Great Western Forum. And now the substitution of John Crotty is permitted. Comes on for John Stockton. And Karl Malone is able to remain on the floor. Crotty pressing Anthony. Anthony moves it across. Starks and Anthony in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Bonner up front. Spencer broke it up. Ewing on the recovery. Bonner gets to it. Bonner feeds out to Oakley. Rebounded by Bonner.
He's everywhere.
Very, as they say, John, active body. Oh, what a pass from Greg Anthony. John Starks rejected. Beautiful pass by Anthony. Here's Jeff Malone.
What an extremely difficult shot that was by Jeff Malone.
6 points for Jeff Malone. 21-19, Knicks with the lead. Risky pass attempted by Oakley. And the Knicks take a timeout. 2:46 remaining. First quarter.
In the first quarter, Knicks leading the Jazz by 2 points. That's Jay Humphries talking to Jeff Malone. Jay isn't playing tonight, out with a hamstring injury. So Jeff Malone's got to do a big job by himself at the two-guard position, and he starts out with this beautiful, tough, one-handed drive. That's a move that he owns. You don't see a move like that very often, where he drives and ends up facing the defender while in the air with that one-handed shot. Not a jump shot, but it's a one-handed shot.
In the paint, the Knicks have come up big here in this first quarter. Here's Corbin. Knicks lead by 2. Anthony slicing through and able to hit. Greg Anthony banging it off glass, and a technical foul has been called.
Pat Riley is certainly supporting Greg Anthony after that terrific drive he executed. But you'll see Anthony, as he drives down the middle, really splits the defense. What a tough move. Feels he got fouled and reacts strongly outwardly to the officials who do not accept it. Pat Riley is doing everything he can to support the growth of Greg Anthony on the court, and that fine move by him was certainly supported.
Greg Anthony played well the other day against Sacramento and was very happy about it, because he said it was the lowest point of his playing career, be it high school, college, or NBA, following the game against the Rockets last Thursday, in particular with the reaction from the crowd. Ewing with the rebound.
Patrick is playing as though he's going to own every rebound on the defensive end, and he seems to be doing it.
3-second violation.
Those are killer turnovers. 3-second violations have now occurred twice, once with Oakley and once with Bonner, leading to 6 turnovers.
Crotty guarded by Anthony. Jeff Malone played by Starks. And the call against Utah. 3-second violation on the Jazz.
That was Karl Malone setting up down low with Oakley. He was dancing around, but he was still in the paint area, and the ball did not get into him quickly enough.
Ewing with the drop step move. Patrick Ewing with a second field goal. He has 5 points, 5 rebounds, couple of blocked shots. The Knicks 25, the Jazz 20. Anthony Mason getting set to return. Crotty going around Anthony and fouled from behind. Deceptive move by John Crotty.
John Crotty comes off his best game of the season against Charlotte on Saturday night. Crotty had himself 8 points, a couple of assists in 12 minutes of play. Those 8 points included, as you can see now, a couple of 3-point shots from the field.
Anthony Mason making his return. John Crotty from Spring Lake, New Jersey, signed as a free agent last season, played in 40 games off the bench. John, you know, this past summer, John Crotty spent the time serving an internship at the New York Stock Exchange. That's my interesting point for the night. Ewing with the stuff. And the Knicks now lead 27-22.
I mean, John Crotty is assuming there is a life after basketball. Yes. Huh? Ewing looks very sharp here in the first quarter.
Hubert Davis getting set to come on. And away from the ball, a holding foul is charged to Mason. That's his first. Now Davis for Starks. Starks leaves with 7 points. The Knicks over the foul limit, so Karl Malone to the line. He is 2 of 2 from the line. The one concern of the Utah coaching staff regarding Karl Malone is that for some reason this season he has not been finishing off his drives as effectively as he has in the past.
Well, from what I can tell, Marv, it probably relates to his arms being too big.
I don't think that reason has been offered. Can you imagine telling that to Jerry Sloan with a straight face? I know Jerry would receive it very well.
Or Karl himself.
Yes. Knicks 27, the Jazz 23. Anthony. And you get the idea that Greg Anthony feels that he certainly can get the step on John Crotty.
And Greg also has been told by Pat Riley to shoot the basketball. After that hesitation experience he had against Houston, it was clear that Pat said, you better shoot that ball or you won't play. So Greg is playing with more confidence in that area.
Jeff Malone for Tyrone Corbin, and Malone was on the floor as he delivered that pass. 25 seconds remaining of the quarter. The Knicks lead by 2. Two-second difference between the 24 and the game clock. Ewing, who was surrounded. Mason with the rebound. And Anthony Mason hits. 0.4 of a second remaining. And that'll do it after 1 here in Salt Lake City. The Knicks 29, the Utah Jazz 25.
Here's an invitation for Knicks fans. Join the team on the road when the Knicks take on the Orlando Magic, Phoenix Suns, Chicago Bulls, and Boston Celtics. The Knicks road trip packages include round trip, airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, game tickets, a party hosted by Knicks VIPs, and more. To receive your free brochure, call 212-268-8844. That's 212-268-8844.
On to the second quarter here in Salt Lake. Substitutions. For the Jazz, John Stockton is back. Walter Bond, second-year player from the University of Minnesota, has come on for the first time, as has the veteran Tom Chambers. Knicks lead 29-25. Karl Malone. And the ball goes back to New York. The Knicks with a backcourt combination of Anthony and Davis up front, Ewing with Bonner and Mason. The Knicks 13 of 23, 57% shooting in the first quarter. Utah only 9 for 21. Davis and Bond with the rebound. Chambers gets down. He's being picked up on a switch by Davis. Karl Malone being guarded by Patrick Ewing.
Two-man basketball here with Stockton and Malone.
And the illegal defense called. Illegal defense against the Knicks, their second violation, so it will be a technical foul, and Tom Chambers will shoot it.
Chambers, the best foul shooter on the floor now for the Utah Jazz at 82% for the season. He has also done a big job for this team. He was an unrestricted free agent. The Jazz signed him after his time with Phoenix Suns. He's playing 24 minutes a game and getting him 12 points a game, also playing forward and backup center.
34 years old in his 13th NBA season. He was a first-round draft pick of the San Diego Clippers. That was back in 1981. Chambers battling for position, was looking for the space for the outside shot. Forced it, knocked away by Ewing. Excellent defense by the Knicks, and they'll get it back.
Well, that's the theme of Pat Riley's focus these days with the Knicks. He wants better defense. They allowed the Kings shade over 100 points the other day, and he wants them to get back to their really in-your-face, as Anthony Mason would describe it, type basketball on the defensive end.
Chambers, anticipating, was able to steal.
Ewing backed up also on that pass attempt inside to him.
Corbin brings the Jazz within one.
Patrick was hoping to cheat by starting out to the basket before he got the ball, but Chambers did a good job of going right around him.
Davis. And a loose ball foul called on Bonner. Anthony Bonner over the back. Now Charles Oakley replaces Patrick Ewing, who leads with 7 points and 5 rebounds. And let's see the matchups. It'll be Oakley guarding Karl Malone and Mason on Chambers.
Pat Riley made the point when he plays Bonner and Mason and Oakley together, the team suffers from the outside perimeter area on offense. They will not get jump shooting from those three for the most part, so a lot of pressure now on the guards as Chambers powers his way in for that drive.
And Utah has taken the lead for the first time since the early minutes. The Jazz 30, the Knicks 29.
This is the perimeter threat now for the Knicks. It's all Hubert Davis.
Bonner backing Corbin. Bonner is hit, and he'll go to the foul line. Corbin called for the foul. Anthony Bonner to the free throw line, shooting only 58% from the line, 14 of 24. Anthony Bonner figures to get much playing time in the absence of Charles Smith. It was announced earlier today that Charles will undergo arthroscopic surgery on his left knee tomorrow and will be out at least 6 weeks. Chambers sitting down. It looked like he drew blood. Same happened to Karl Malone earlier. So Tom Chambers departing and replaced by the rookie Brian Russell.
Just amazing, when the Knicks acquired Anthony Bonner, there was no plan specifically for where he would fit. He just represented quality, and as Pat Riley said the other day after the game, we felt we got a #1 draft pick with Bonner, which is what he was, and boy, has he become important.
Very fundamentally sound, consistent player. That's an offensive foul charged on Anthony. The Knicks and the Jazz are tied at 30. 2.5 gone by, second quarter. Marv Albert with John Andres from the Delta Center. Capacity crowd better than 19,000 turning out. Karl Malone couldn't handle that pass off the mark. Here's Anthony on a breakaway. The Knicks lead by 2.
Perfect pass by Bonner.
Bond off the fake is fouled, hammered by Oakley. Walter Bond spent last year with the Dallas Mavericks in the starting lineup for a good portion of the season. Started 38 games. That before the arrival of Jim Jackson, and when Jackson finally signed, Walter Bond did not get much playing time. Signed as a free agent with Utah.
Solid body at 6'5". He took quite a shot now and didn't show ill effect. Bond also with Crotty the other day combined for a big third quarter against Charlotte. Bond hit both of his shots and has proved to be quite reliable to the Jazz.
Karl Malone sitting down. Chambers is back. Malone departs with 7 points. And the call against Utah as Bonner ends up on the floor. Hold on Bond.
Big job now for Greg Anthony playing against John Stockton tonight. Greg's quickness is needed against the penetrating power of Stockton.
Now Corbin switches off. Bonner lost it. Off the turnover. Here comes Russell. It is a charging foul. Ryan Russell forcing the issue called for the charge.
Russell going up. And what he thought over the defense, but no, the foul went his way.
Stockton with the steal. Beautiful move. End to end, he protected the ball, was able to steal, and then go the length of the floor. Utah by 1, and a timeout taken by the Knicks.
Hey fans, turn your Madison Square Garden ticket into a meal ticket and save 25%. Present your ticket stub and use the American Express card at Manhattan Houlihan's and score 25% off a delicious meal. Get 25% off dinner at KFC. Score 25% off at Roy Rogers. So keep your ticket stub and save. Get 25% off at participating Manhattan Reese restaurants, KFC, Houlihan's, Roy Rogers, and Dunkin' Donuts. Brought to you by American Express and the Reese Organization, your ticket to affordable food.
You know, if life were perfect, women wouldn't talk during the Bible.
And that is a traveling violation.
Well, the Knicks aren't the same without Ewing on offense, and as we say that, Pat Riley goes to the end of the bench to get Patrick Ewing in there. They're just not getting it done at all without Ewing on the offensive end.
12 turnovers by the Knicks, and we are not even midway through the second quarter. Stockton, John Stockton lifting this Utah team with his offense and his defense. 9 points for Stockton. The Jazz by 5. Beautiful pass from Starks finding Bonner. Utah 37, the Knicks 34.
You get a sense when Bonner goes up to the basket, you're just not going to get that ball from him.
5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Chambers over Bonner. Starks to the boards. They double up on Starks. Mason, yes, straightaway jump shot by Anthony Mason, and the Knicks trail by 1.
The Knicks have had such success early in the earlier part of the game, getting points in the paint, as we showed a few times. They've gotten away from any kind of perimeter game, so that shot by Mason becomes important. They've got to loosen up the defense of the Jazz now with some perimeter play.
Karl Malone getting set to check back in. Russell. Nice move by Ryan Russell, second-round pick from Long Beach State. He averaged only 13 points as a senior, did not make first team All Big West Conference. It counts, and the foul. Foul called on Bond. But the Jazz obviously liked what they saw in Brian Russell.
Tough move by Starks now, a little hesitation, and then the jump shot on the move and the foul his way.
And you know that John Starks intent on turning it from that 4 for 21 from the field against Utah 2 weeks ago.
The reason for that poor shooting percentage effort for John was that Ewing wasn't there, and the Jazz knew that they had to dig in on John. They gave him extra special attention, took away any room he would normally get. But now with Ewing back out there, it's a one-on-one matchup for Starks, and he can deal with that.
Chambers fouled. Ewing thought he had the clean block. For Ewing, his second foul, and Chambers will head to the line.
Nice bounce pass from Stockton. Chambers with running room now. Well, Patrick might have had his hand on the ball, but he had some part of his body. As you could see, Chambers rocked a bit on that play.
Utah 40, and the Knicks 39. Utah Jazz with Chambers, Malone, and Corbin up front. Utah leads by 2. Nice ball movement by the Knicks, and Mason able to conclude matters. He's 4 of 4 from the field, and he's tied the game at 41.
That ball went a long way in a short period of time.
That went over the top of the backboard, so the ball goes to the Knicks. Knicks play the Lakers tomorrow night at the Forum. 10:30 start. It's New York time. Knicks game night at 10, and then Thursday night they face the Golden State Warriors in Oakland. Back home on Saturday as Ewing is able to stuff it home. He has 9 points, and the Knicks now lead 43-41.
Oh boy, Charles Oakley should get an assist on that. He kept that missed shot by Starks alive right into the hands of Ewing.
And the outside official, Jim Clark, indicating another illegal defense. That's the 3rd against the Knicks. Jeff Malone will shoot the technical. Felton Spencer has checked in now, replacing Tom Chambers. Well, Jeff Malone missing on the tee. The Knicks have a 43-41 lead with 5:09 remaining in the first half. Starks with the hesitation dribble gets it back out. Ewing with the fake, fouled, yes, and it counts. Ewing will go to the line. Spencer called for the foul, his second.
Well, Ewing picking up a loose Karl Malone sent him away unhappy. Then at the other end, the Knicks pushing that ball up court. John Starks working his way inside, gets denied the baseline. Ewing with the little fake, gets rid of Spencer, but draws the foul and makes the hoop and finishes it with a 3-point play.
Knicks lead 46-41.
Oh, I got to correct myself on that play. That was not a block by Ewing. Charles Oakley in there made it difficult, and that was a missed attempt.
Malone, off balance attempt by Jeff Malone. Starks moving on Stockton. Whoops by him. Oh, what a move by John Starks. Hard driving, and then was able to put it in with a feather-like touch. Here's Corbin. And a foul is called. Mason hit the deck.
Karl Malone giving Doc Rivers a warning, and they're jawing at each other. I think Malone got hit from behind by Rivers. Now Karl Malone is giving the official a lecture.
And let's see what the call is here. Here's Jim Clark calling a technical on Malone.
Doc Rivers and Karl Malone, double technical foul.
And apparently Doc Rivers also hit with a technical foul.
There is no
Hard to
technical
tell whether it was
foul.
because of the play or the response by the players.
I am the one who called him over. Therefore, there is no technical foul. There's a loose ball foul on Mason.
And now Darryl Garrettson just came over and has overruled that there are no technical fouls.
Personal foul is called number 14, Anthony Mason. He makes his second personal, number 14.
He overruled the call and called a personal foul on Anthony Mason. Nice to have that power, Marv. If anyone does, it's Darryl Garrettson, the chief of officials.
We hope to get another look at that play, but Garrettson did overrule. Karl Malone lost it, stripped by Ewing. And here's Oakley. So the Knicks with a 50-41 lead, and Utah calls for time. 3:47 remaining in the first half. Tell what went on, but now here is another look.
On the rebound, Karl Malone reaching out with his left foot for Doc Rivers. He was unhappy about a prior incident they had, which was not seen very clearly. And the technical foul call, the double technical, was overruled by Darryl Garrettson in favor of a personal foul on Mason.
And the reason is Darryl Garrettson came over to explain it. He said that he had called Malone and Rivers together to quiet things down, and Jim Clark did not realize that as the discussion continued. So Garrettson felt there should not have been any technical fouls handed out. But Rivers upset with that kicking motion by Karl Malone, and Malone felt that he was hammered. He thought it was Rivers who hit him. But no technicals called, and all now has been cleared up. Meanwhile, the Knicks in the midst of a good run, and a foul is called on Utah. 3:02 remaining in this first half. Chambers called for the foul. The Knicks now lead 50-41, and this represents their biggest lead of the night.
Marv, it's pretty clear that the Knicks are adhering to what Pat Riley wanted the team to do on the offensive end, and that is to reestablish this man, Patrick Ewing, and his post game. They got away from it, doing it successfully, certainly against Houston. They reinstated that effort, and it paid off Saturday against Sacramento. But they want to get Ewing the ball when he's moving, as opposed to when he's in a wrestling match under the basket. And Patrick also is more active. He's got to become active in order to get the ball when he's moving. And the Knicks seem to be on each other's wavelength in that regard so far here.
Ewing is the high man. He has 14. Knicks with a good shooting first half. Oakley on a switch picks up Stockton. Here's Malone, and he is fouled by Ewing.
Karl Malone just dished out some punishment to Doc Rivers as he was setting that pick on the high post, which take another look now at Karl Malone setting an NBA-style power forward pick. No foul called on that, although it looked like there was some motion from Karl Malone setting the pick, which would indicate a foul, but it was not seen that way.
The foul committed by Ewing, his third, and Herb Williams will come on to replace Patrick Ewing. Good first half for Ewing. 5 of 9 from the field, 14 points and 7 rebounds, along with 3 fouls.
What the Knicks have done with this very hard-fought first half, Marv, which I think is impressive, particularly in that they're on the road, is keep their concentration. They have not allowed any of the exchanges that have led to some confusion bother them or set them back. They're really keeping their mind on business.
Rivers and Starks at the guards. Now Mason, Oakley, and Williams up front. Starks, yes. Another impressive drive by John Starks, who has 14 points.
How happy can Jerry Sloan be with Felton Spencer not even putting his hands up on those moves that continue from John Starks.
The Knicks lead by 11. And Darryl Garretson with the call. It's on Rivers. Knicks over the foul limit, so Stockton will go to the free throw line. John Stockton, Saturday night against Charlotte, 17 assists, previous game, 13 assists. Utah has won 3 in a row, a record of 11 up and 5 down. This is game 4 of a 5-game homestand for the Jazz. They will be home for Washington on Wednesday. They close out the stand and play at Denver and Golden State. Starks trying to use the pick. Then on a switch and then double team. Rivers for 3.
One thing you notice with the Knicks on offense, they seem to know where each other is, as John Stockton always knows where Karl Malone is. The Knicks are doing a much better job of recognizing open men.
11 points for Karl Malone. Mason stopped by Malone, and a foul is called. That layup by Karl Malone, representing Utah's first field goal in over 6 minutes. So 2 shots for Mason, making his first trip to the line.
The Knicks have done a very good job over the last several minutes of quieting down John Stockton, who had been running wild for a period.
The Knicks by 8. Mason has been perfect, 4 of 4 from the field and 2 for 2 from the line for 10 points. The Knicks 56, the Jazz 47 with 1:25 left in the first half.
Chambers at 6'10" wants to use that height advantage over Mason.
Spencer is blocked and fouled.
That 6'10" height helped him look right over the defense to deliver that nice pass.
Felton Spencer, not a good free throw shooter, 1 of 2 from the line. Tonight, a #1 draft pick of Minnesota, played 3 years for the Timberwolves, acquired in the deal from Mike Brown, who had been the backup center in recent years to Markey.
Big move for the Utah Jazz. I mean, this was not a move that was recognized throughout the NBA as a pivotal move for a team's destiny, but Spencer has done a very good job. So much so, I would think that Minnesota would be wondering why he wasn't giving them the effort that the Utah Jazz are getting now. He lost some weight, and he's had some fine efforts in his brief time here with Utah.
Rivers with the straightaway 3. Yes, wide open. Doc Rivers buries the shot from downtown. The Knicks lead 59-47.
That's the inside-outside game of the Knicks.
Oh, by Karl Malone. The Knicks lead is now 10. 13 for Karl Malone. 40 seconds in the half. Spencer with the box out, but lost it. So a break for the Knicks. They get a new 24. But first, a timeout, 20-second timeout taken by Pat Riley.
Well, you might as well use the 1/22 you have each half, and that's what Pat Riley elected to do now, because you're not allowed to carry it into the second half.
This is a significant period for the Knicks. 3 games and 4 nights here on the West Coast as you watch Doc Rivers hit the 3. They continue to try and reestablish themselves after the loss to Houston. Well, Knicks 3-point shooting leading the NBA at just under 39%, while opponents at only 26% from downtown against the Knicks.
John Starks leading the way for the Knicks with 38%. He has made the most, 28 threes. Doc Rivers just hit his 14th of the year.
Here's Starks for 3. Rebounded by Karl Malone. Half-minute remaining in the half. Off the leg of Malone. And last touch by the Knicks. Utah with 16 on the 24. And Stockton playing the clock. Down to 5 on the 24. Chambers for the open 3. Air ball. Starks try to save it and apparently stepped out. 24-second buzzer sounding, but the question is, did Starks catch the ball and step out? Apparently he did before the 24 seconds ran out. So Utah with another opportunity. 8 seconds remaining in the half. Pass it too much on it. And now the Knicks get it back with 5 2/10 seconds to go. Rivers to midcourt. And Oakley will gun it from deep. Halftime here at the Delta Center, Salt Lake City, Utah. The Knicks shooting well in the first half, leading Utah 59-49. Coming up in a moment, Mike Crispino at the MSG Sports Desk. We'll be back after these words.
If you were to take every art
I like to play a backup role as far as coming off the bench. You know, I've had my days of starting.
So without a doubt, I think we have a 39-year-old man. Every time it's sort of sad to say because our quarterback here is 38, but when you have an older man out there, you're supposed to try to tattoo him every chance you can. But I take my hat off to the defensive line because they really took the time and the effort to study the film, and they really met the challenge.
Back to the Delta Center in a couple of minutes after the game. Mike Quick and his high school report on the MSG Sports Desk. We hope you can join us.
And Eagle dealers Patrick Ewing, John Starks enjoying excellent first half performances. 14 apiece. Ewing 5 of 9 from the field. Starks 6 out of 12. Mason with 10 points on 4 of 4 from the field. Karl Malone leading Utah with 4 out of 10. 13 points. John Stockton with 10. And Stockton with 7 assists in this first half. And John directly behind us, let's see, Curtis Bunn of the New York Daily News, Clifton Brown of the New York Times, typing away furiously just moments ago, showing us that they actually do write their own material. Should be pointed out.
And they talk to each other during the game.
They actually do. They have a fine relationship. Inter-paper relationship.
All the stories are different, though. How do they do that?
Unbelievable. Good half, though, for the Knicks. They shot well. The Knicks with a very strong second quarter, 57% shooting in all.
Yes, good ball distribution and balance on the court, offensively and defensively. No one too dominant, but plenty of balance out there.
All right, to look up the halftime highlights. And the highlights brought to you by Minolta, makers of the new Maxim 700 SI, only from the mind of Minolta.
The latter part of the first half, there was an incident under the basket there involving Karl Malone. Doc Rivers reaching over from behind Malone with a little kick in the direction of Rivers, which certainly incited his response. Both players going at each other. Technicals calls, then they were taken away by Darryl Garrison. A couple of plays later, Karl Malone getting a little facial massage from Doc Rivers. Oakley with a little protection move there. Take care of Doc Rivers. John Starks drove to the basket time and again in the first half. A lot of big people around him, but they didn't bother John Starks, who continued time and again. Of course, the best part of the Jazz game is John Stockton to Karl Malone, and it did happen a couple of times.
Knicks with a 10-point lead as we head to the third quarter. The Knicks by 10 as we get set for the start of the third quarter. Knicks had an excellent shooting second quarter, 11 of 17, 65% for the half, 24 of 42, while the Jazz at 17 for 39. Off the boards, Knicks with the edge, 23-15, 7 apiece for Ewing and Karl Malone. And the Knicks will open up with Doc Rivers, John Starks in the backcourt, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Anthony Mason up front. John Stockton and Jeff Malone at the guards, Karl Malone, Felton Spencer, and the rookie Brian Russell on the front line. Nice give and go, and then the extra pass thrown by Stockton. Felton Spencer with a fadeaway. The Knicks now lead 59-51.
Well, Felton Spencer liked the sound of the Lone Ranger music being blared here throughout the Delta Center.
And a foul call. It's on Jeff Malone.
The one area of the Knicks' first half that hurt them a bit was their turnovers, 13, which cost them 12 points. Oddly enough, Charles Oakley led the Knicks in that department with 5 turnovers himself.
Ewing thought he would draw a foul. Stockton with the pull-up.
Defenders are always reluctant to run at John Stockton to try and stop that jump shot because of his explosiveness. So you tend to lay back on your heels a little bit, but when he hits that jumper coming at you, it makes it real tough.
The Knicks lead 59-53. They've led by as many as 12. 1 minute gone by in the third. Starks. And Utah will get it back. Utah Jazz at 11-5. They've won 3 in a row. They come off a victory over Charlotte here at home on Saturday night. While the Knicks at 10-3, they beat Sacramento at the Garden on Saturday following that loss to Houston in New York last Thursday. Post-up move by Spencer. Well, Felton Spencer hits again, and Pat Riley is upset. He's taken a 20-second timeout. Utah has cut it to a 4-point lead.
Oh, it's a 6-point run now by Utah. The Knicks have not scored since the second half began, so it's all in favor of the home team. Spencer now cautiously working his way against Ewing, then goes into a fadeaway with a nice soft touch as part of that move. Any basket the center on Utah gives this team is a tremendous help because they live off Karl Malone and John Stockton.
And 2 of the 3 field goals scored by Felton Spencer. 7-footer, 265 pounds, in his 4th NBA season out of Louisville. In college, for the most part, he was a backup to Purvis Ellison, then moved into the starting lineup as a senior. The Knicks lead is now 4. They double up on Mason. Oakley. And again, the ball hops over the glass and will go back to the Jazz. Two weeks ago at the Garden, Utah beat the Knicks. Patrick Ewing sitting out with a sprained neck. That's the game that saw John Stark shoot only 4 of 21. Jeff Malone adding to the Jazz run, an 8-0 spurt to open up the third quarter.
Marv, in New York, the Jazz greeted the Knicks in the third quarter with a 14-0 spurt.
Last touched by Utah. Knicks getting the new 24 to work with. Starks off the screen. Yes, looked like Spencer got a piece of it. John Starks with the Knicks' first field goal of this third quarter. He has 16 points. John is at 7 of 14 from the field. Knicks 61, Utah 57. Rivers closes the baseline on Stockton. Karl Malone, he was in heavy traffic and he was fouled. A pushing foul on Ewing. And that is his fourth. Pat Riley, very upset with the call, had something to say to Darryl Garrison and then walked away.
Well, with the fourth foul on Ewing, he's just got to go to the bench now. Ewing coming in.
Whoa. Oh, that was...
I don't think Darryl Garrison would like to look at that call in replay. Seemed to be a lot of space between Karl Malone and Patrick Ewing.
Very, very soft foul. And Ewing sits down. Bonner has checked in. So Patrick Ewing with 4 personals. Knicks lead 61-57. Malone with the fake. Russell. Terrific box out by Brian Russell. And he's cut the lead to 2.
Well, they say Brian Russell plays bigger than his height of 6'7", and he certainly did on that play.
Illegal defense called against the Jazz. So that is their first violation. Knicks have been hit with 3 illegal defensive calls.
Major problem for the Knicks now with Ewing out. The Jazz ran over them in New York without Ewing. He was out that game with the injured neck. When he was out in the first half, the Knicks went flat. And this is what they're going to need. Spectacular shooting now, and it starts with John Starks.
The Knicks 63, the Jazz 59. They double up on Stockton. Karl Malone. Mason thought he had him stopped. Malone kept going.
You know, it's like Malone gave Anthony a message as if to say, Anthony, we're going for a ride now.
Herb Williams getting set to check in. Stay right here, says the official, Mark Wunderlich. Foul call. Call on Utah. It's on Karl Malone.
Anthony Mason's competitive fires were burning on that last sequence as he got that ball down low and wanted to go at Malone.
Looked like Pat Riley upset with Anthony Mason. Rivers. It counts, and the foul.
What a move.
And the foul on that man, John Stockton.
Doc Rivers now following the path that John Stark started throughout this game, and that is taking that ball right to the basket with strength. Now Rivers doesn't have the spring, quite the spring of John Starks, but he has the body, and he takes that physical response by the Jazz and still succeeded.
Knicks by 4. 7.5 remaining in the third quarter. Now Oakley guarding Karl Malone. Stockton comes back to Malone. Oh, Malone colliding with Starks. Spencer gets another opportunity for Jeff Malone.
Karl Malone is on his back under the basket. He is hurt.
Karl Malone shaken up. Play continues. Oakley with the spin. Lost it. It'll be Nick Paul. And now a 20-second timeout is called by Utah.
Looks like Karl Malone suffering an eye injury, which staggers anybody. Karl Malone working his way into the basket around Charles Oakley. Looks like he got rocked by John Starks on that move to the basket. Oh. Left elbow of Starks hitting Karl Malone. It looked like on the soft tissue part of the head. Fortunately, it didn't appear that Karl Malone was bleeding, much like Charles Oakley was when he was hit in the head the other day in New York.
Yes, Carl Herrera inadvertently clipped him with his elbow, and Charles Oakley needed 4 stitches, but apparently Karl Malone is all right.
It was a stunning blow, but he has clearly shaken it off.
The Knicks 65, the Jazz 63. It's a good one here in Salt Lake City. Opener of a 3-game West Coast trip for the Knicks. Rivers for 3. Rebounded by Russell. Fires it down. Here's Karl Malone. He fumbled it. And hits the floor again. And a foul called on the Knicks. It's on Rivers. That's 3 on Rivers.
Beautiful pass by Russell down court after that impressive rebound. And a scrum ensues.
Up a 4th foul. He had been having his way with Felton Spencer until the start of the 3rd quarter. A couple of buckets by Spencer, and now Ewing sitting it out after picking up number 4.
Now our Toyota matchup featuring Patrick Ewing and Felton Spencer. Spencer hanging in only half the amount of points Patrick got. All of Patrick's 14 came in the first half. But Spencer's doing a good job. He's on the floor now. He's usually on the bench in foul trouble. That happens quite often. So he's enjoying the absence of Patrick Ewing, as the Utah Jazz are right now.
Jazz hitting 7 of 10 from the field here in the 3rd. Herb Williams now playing at center, going up against Felton Spencer. Shot clock at 7. Karl Malone. Beautiful fadeaway jump shot by Malone.
That's a long jump shot for a man his size on the move.
The game tied at 65. Karl Malone has 17. Williams tried to set a screen. Oakley, yes. Charles Oakley has hit 5 out of 10. He has 10 points. The Knicks 67. The Jazz 65 with 6 minutes left in the 3rd. Anthony Mason getting set to come back.
Oakley making Malone receive the ball out a little further than he wanted.
Stockton gets inside.
That's a rare play, a give and go with Stockton on the receiving end, and quite a deceptive move by him inside on Doc Rivers.
Foul on Russell. Got entangled with Bonner.
Give and go. Stockton, you know, despite his size, is a very physical player. Stockton at 6'1". He sets picks on big people, and he'll even muscle a Doc Rivers at 6'4".
A wiry 6'1", 175 pounds. Rivers open. Rebounded by Spencer. Nice outlet for Jeff Malone. Game is tied at 67. Here's Jeff Malone. Jeff Malone, despite the fact that he has the good touch and is a pure shooter, is not much from three-point range. In fact, hit a three-pointer the other day against Charlotte, and he took a lot of kidding about it. His first from downtown this season.
Yes, he was proud to say he leads the league in threes, and he does.
In terms of percentage, here's Jeff Malone, more within his range to give the Jazz a 71-67 lead, and the Knicks take a timeout with 4 1:54 to go in the third.
Remember, when you're having good times with friends, use good sense and drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Well, there's Larry Miller, the owner of the Utah Jazz, very prominent here in his first row seat, stands up during timeouts and surveys the surroundings as best he can.
Looks like he's giving the evil eye to the opposition. The Jazz by 4, 71-67. Rivers for 3. Yes, hesitated for an instant and then let it go.
Big time shot by Doc Rivers, just what they needed, with Ewing on the bench now, and he'll remain there through the third quarter with his 4 fouls. The Knicks need help.
And a foul called on the Knicks. It's on Herb Williams.
During that timeout, Larry Miller stands up all by himself. He's entitled to get on the court, just about, as you can see. No one will tell him to sit down.
By Karl Malone with a fadeaway. Utah leads 73-70.
That's the unblockable jump shot by Karl Malone. At his size, to fade away like that. Wow, is that tough.
Just under 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Oakley setting the pick. Jeff Malone able to brush right by. Mason a little bit out of his range. And then could not save it. Try to get back to it. Deep jump shot by Anthony Mason, who has shot very well tonight.
Well, he came back to the Knicks this year with a much improved jump shot.
Spencer.
Pat Riley said he wanted more rebounding from his guards. That kind of play by Starks shows he's aware of that.
And then Starks pass off the mark, chased down by Stockton. Rejected by Williams. Nice recovery by Herb Williams. That was exciting end-to-end action.
I'm surprised Stockton made that move with Herb Williams in front of him.
Leg block called on Oakley. And Utah will get a new 24. Substitution, John Crotty will come on. He'll provide a breather for John Stockton.
Well, Stockton figured he could get that shot up quicker than Herb Williams could get there, Marv, and he figured wrong.
14 points and 10 rebounds. Or rather 10 assists for Stockton. Crotty setting it up. Give and go, and Crotty gets inside.
Nice job by Herb Williams on the boards.
Knicks down by 3. 2.5 remaining. Third quarter. Oakley lost it. Here's Crotty leading the break. Jeff Malone. He is on fire. 17 for Jeff Malone.
He can't be given any room whatsoever. That's like a layup for him.
He is a notorious streak shooter, and he is in the midst of a streak. Here's Rivers. Doc Rivers hacked. Crotty call for the personal. Greg Anthony getting set to check in. Tom Chambers now coming on. So Rivers to the line. We have not seen the rookie from Seton Hall, Luther Wright, who has not been getting the playing time, a first-round draft pick out of Jersey City, who has fallen out of favor. Wright suspended by Coach Jerry Sloan the other day for missing several weightlifting sessions. 1 game suspension without pay kept him from playing in the game against Charlotte, although, as I said, he has not been used frequently. Malone on the drive. It's a rare move for Jeff Malone, and batted out of bounds. Last touch by the Knicks.
So Wright is just not acting professional enough for Jerry Sloan and the coaching staff. They continue to believe in him. They feel he can be a factor to this team. Great opportunity for him now that Mark Eaton is down and perhaps out. And things like that set him back, certainly with the coaching staff.
He is a major project, though. Karl Malone. 21 for Malone.
Oakley can't do any more than he did on that. Malone has put up a couple of impossible to deal with shots now.
Biggest lead of the night for the Jazz. Minute and a half left in the third. Mason again from deep. Oakley saved it. Crotty on the ball. Crotty guarded by Anthony. Greg Anthony lifted after he was stripped by John Stockton, who went the distance and was able to score. Russell, with a very impressive move, could not finish it off. So this is the first time we've seen Anthony after Pat Riley pulled him after Stockton came up with the steal and the basket.
Working against John Crotty now, a lot different than John Stockton.
Starks. Just under 1 minute remaining in the third.
Well, the Knicks need Patrick Ewing to the rescue.
Ewing sitting it out after picking up his 4th foul. Crotty got the step. Oh, Crotty going all the way. So Crotty beating Anthony off the dribble. Here comes Bonner. And the crowd reacting to this spurt by the Utah Jazz.
Crotty played a big role in the game Saturday. If the Utah Jazz won for their 3rd in a row.
They are on their feet. Standing ovation here at the Delta Center. Starks. Rebound, Chambers. Crotty lost his balance. Time running down in the third. Crotty going to his left. He thought he was fouled. Here's Anthony. After 3. Utah 79. The Knicks 71. Well, this past Saturday night here in Salt Lake City, the Jazz retired Darrell Griffiths, number 35, during a ceremony at halftime of the Jazz Charlotte game. Darrell receiving a number of gifts, including a pair of skis and a rim from the Salt Palace. Rod Hundley, the Utah Jazz broadcaster, saying that it's a rim from a building that you helped put out of business. Hubert Davis just checked in as this 4th quarter gets underway, and he is fouled by Bond.
Yes, meaning that the Salt Palace wasn't big enough for the crowds here, and that's why they moved over to this larger arena.
A solid 11-year career for Darrell Griffith. He says he still goes one-on-one with 15-year-old Darrell Jr. in the driveway in Louisville, Kentucky. A 12-point 3rd quarter for the New York Knicks. They were outscored 30-12. They led by 10 at the half. They are now down by 6.
Patrick Ewing back on the court now. Hubert Davis, who hasn't gotten much of a run tonight out there, very determined.
Spencer going right at Ewing, trying to pick up number 5. And he did. Now they say Mason called for the foul. Mason also involved.
Now what Patrick Ewing must do is not allow Spencer to get that ball in so low to receive that ball. The guy is 7 feet. He doesn't have to do much to cause trouble. But Patrick has to move a lot to deny him that position. So his feet have to really be moving, not banging on him, just moving, getting in front of him.
Felton Spencer, 1 of 6 from the line. Utah by 6. 4th quarter, just underway. Bonner up front with Ewing and Mason. Davis and Anthony now at the guards. Davis guarded by Bond. They double up on Ewing. Shot clock at 2. At 1, Anthony. Rebound, Spencer. Chambers. Changed the direction by Tom Chambers. It is an offensive foul.
After that 43% field goal effort in the first half by the Jazz, they came out with a 60% effort in the third quarter. Chambers on the drive on that play. The Knicks on the other side were 5 for 18 themselves after shooting 57% in the first half. Complete reversal in the third quarter.
And the foul against the Knicks. Loose ball foul on Bonner. The Knicks with a solid first half. Utah turning it in the third quarter. Right now, Karl Malone on the bench. Malone providing a lift in the third. And a pushing foul on Anthony. And very quickly, the Knicks have picked up their third team foul. And Karl Malone applying the ice. Took that elbow in the third quarter.
Marv, he's going to have a mouse under the eye if he doesn't keep that ice on there.
Bond changed his mind and fed Spencer, fouled by Bonner. An alert play by Spencer to handle that pass.
Also good play by Bonner coming over to make it difficult to deny that slam dunk attempt.
Well, he's a guy you want to see at the foul line. 1 for 6 prior to hitting that shot.
Well, he's demonstrating the more attempts he gets, the better he can get.
Utah 81 and the New York Knicks 73. Good pressure here by Stockton, and Mason did well to take that inbound pass. And the double team on Ewing. Mason wanted to travel, but he did not lift the right foot. The left foot went up. That was it.
It was a pass intention, which turned out to be a great fake because he got rid of John Stockton's distraction.
Utah by 6. Davis with the tight defense on Bond. Anthony guarding Stockton. Here's Chambers getting inside easily on Bonner.
He's so big. He's 6'10". He's done it a million times in his career.
Utah 83, the Knicks 75. Brown wanted a turnover called on Hubert Davis. Now the turnover, steal by Spencer.
Ewing again backing up to receive that pass. Good play.
Anthony pushed as he intercepted, pushed by Corbin.
Corbin is second Jazz team foul.
Patrick Ewing has got to drop that instinctive retreat before he gets the ball, because the defense can just reach right around him as they did.
Mason whipping off to Bonner. Oh, Bonner going glass.
He's got a remarkable ability to make shots like that off the backboard.
Knicks down by 6. Charles Oakley getting set to check in. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. There's Corbin.
Corbin is in a major shooting slump, continues to shoot poorly.
Davis for 3. John Stockton checking with coach Jerry Sloan. Walter Bond down low trying to post up on Hubert Davis. Here's Corbin again. Obviously trying to shoot his way out of it. Davis open. Yes. That's a three for Hubert Davis. So after rimming the basket, he's able to convert.
He's just a guy, if he misses one and he gets another one within a reasonable amount of time, you're going to bet he's going to make it.
8:07 remaining in the fourth. The Knicks now trail by 3.
Salt Lake City will now look at the Delta Airlines upcoming Knicks schedule. Tomorrow night at the Lakers, 10 p.m. Knicks game night. Thursday at Golden State, 10 p.m. Knicks game night. Saturday home against the visiting Indiana Pacers, 7 p.m. Knicks game night.
8:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. Knicks led by as many as 12. Utah's led by as many as 8. Jazz by 3. Karl Malone is back, being guarded by Charles Oakley. Stockton. Bond. That's a 3. Nice play by Walter Bond, first to handle the pass and then to sink the jump shot. Utah leads 86-80. Here comes the double up. Ewing finds the open man. Anthony takes the 3. And Karl Malone lost it.
The Jazz are double and tripling Ewing quicker than they did in the first half now, which means the Knicks have got to make some perimeter shots.
Anthony now 2 of 6. In for him in just a moment. Here's Davis. Rebound Oakley, and he's fouled. Now Rivers will come on. So Doc Rivers replacing Greg Anthony. John Starks will check back in. And Charles Oakley to the line. He is 0 for 1 from the line. 10.7 rebounds for Charles. Oakley 72% free throw shooter. And now Pat Riley with a change. He'll go to a 3-guard alignment as he sends Starks in for Mason. So the Knicks are looking for some force from the outside as Utah continues to double up on Ewing.
Yes, this is an offensive move by Pat Riley.
Utah leading 86-82. At the other end of the court, Starks will go against the forward, 6'7", Brian Russell.
Russell's a very aggressive offensive rebounder, so John had better keep that in mind.
Shot clock at 6. And back come the Knicks. They collapse on Ewing. And once again, they're able to handcuff him. Ewing thought he was fouled. Karl Malone backing in. Strong post-up move by Malone. He has 23. Utah by 6 points.
Well, not only does he have strength to deal with Charles Oakley, he certainly shows the mobility as well.
Starks is tripped up. Foul committed by Felton Spencer.
The major problem for the Knicks, Marv, now is they can't get Ewing into the flow offensively. The doubling by the Jazz is working, so much so that Patrick has been denied time and again. And Patrick also has got to recognize the double quickly when he gets the ball and find the open man and not force up a shot in the attempt to draw a foul if it's not a good shot. You know, Ewing has not scored in the second half.
Starks upset with himself for that strong first attempt. Jeff Malone, who had that hot streak at the end of the third quarter, is checked back in. Starks hits 1 out of 2. The Jazz 88 and the Knicks 83.
Rivers now trying to deny Stockton's penetrating ability.
Karl Malone. And a loose ball foul is called.
Looks like Felton Spencer did a job pushing Ewing on that rebounding attempt.
It is Spencer collecting his fourth. The Jazz over the limit. So Ewing will go to the line.
Karl Malone, last time down the floor, being held by Oakley, still fighting to get his position down low. And finally succeeding in getting the ball. It's very deceptive sometimes to pass up the cutter as he did to Stockton. It's not being unselfish, it's being deceptive.
Ewing hitting the first, now 5 of 6 from the line. That is first point the second half. The scoreboard, the video board up above, putting a shot of Bill Laimbeer on to get fans to boo as the opposition player goes to the line.
Yes, the Knicks certainly don't deserve that kind of treatment, so they go to the depiction of Bill Laimbeer.
And Bond is fouled. That's a sure shot booing reaction.
Or what they call, Marv, a win-win situation.
5:40 to go in this fourth quarter. Walter Bond to the free throw line. He's 1 out of 2 from the line. He is an 80% shooter from the foul line this season. Has not gone to the line very often. Second year from the University of Minnesota. Played with the Dallas Mavericks last year. 89-84, the Jazz with the lead. The Knicks with only 12 points in the third quarter following the good shooting the first half. And Riley going with the 3-guard setup. Ewing. Strong move by Patrick Ewing.
Oh, that's a terrific move. He just went right to the rim with that ball, and it was a one-on-one situation. It happened too quickly for the Jazz to double him.
And Spencer now playing with 4 fouls. Ewing has 17 points. Bad pass, rare occurrence. Stockton picked off by Starks. The Knicks are down by 3, just under 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Starks getting it over to Rivers. Here's Doc's shot. And Stockton had a notion to fire down and then held up.
Doc was under great pressure on that shot. It looked like a bit of a force.
And the foul called on Starks. The Starks is second. The Knicks are over the limit. So Jeff Malone to the line, and he is a superb free throw shooter. 86% from the free throw line. Jeff Malone in his 4th year with Utah. As I say, a superb free throw shooter. He's 1 of 3 from the line. Jeff spent 7 years with the Bullets, and he is very upset with himself as the Knicks take a timeout. In particular, coming off the loss last week to Houston, the Knicks would like to demonstrate to themselves that they can beat the quality teams. Look at this breakdown against teams above the 500 mark. They've won 2 and they've lost 3. 8-0 against teams below 500. The 3 losses to Utah without Patrick Ewing, to Houston, and they lost the game to the Spurs in San Antonio.
However, so many times teams lose to teams they should be beating. The one good sign with that 8-0 is at least they're beating the teams they should be beating, and now they have to concentrate as the quality lifts in their opponents, that they can concentrate on dealing with some of these better teams now.
Well, neither club burning it up here in the fourth quarter. Jeff Malone hits the second after missing the first. Utah 90 and the Knicks 86. 4.5 remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Knicks turn it over.
So many times Patrick Ewing's attempt at getting the ball has been interrupted. Spencer stuck that hand in that time and just knocked it away.
And a foul called. It's on Oakley. Yes, Utah has done a terrific job in defending against Ewing, coming with double and triple teams.
Marv, Patrick is not coming strong enough to the ball. He's got to do that. Now, he didn't back up that time, but he also didn't come strong to the ball.
Well, John Stockton missing on his first. And he's an 80% free throw shooter. Utah 20 of 31 from the line, 65%.
I mean, unnecessary turnovers at this point of the game are deadly.
91-86. The Jazz by 5. Ewing this time backing his way in. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks are within 3. Ewing has 19. Oakley fronting Malone, and Malone makes the catch on the lead. He's blocked. Oakley comes up with it.
Oh, great help by Ewing, just at the right time.
The Knicks staying with the 3 guards, Rivers, Starks, and Davis. Shot clock at 7. Ewing in the one-on-one coverage. Bond with the rebound.
Oakley was so busy going lateral to knock Spencer away that he took himself out of the play.
More respect for Jerry Sloan at the Knicks outside shooting with this particular lineup on the floor, so staying away from the double coverage. Meanwhile, Karl Malone has had the jump shot working. 25 for Malone, and the Jazz again with a 5-point lead.
Well, I don't recall him shooting the ball as well as he has tonight against the Knicks in recent years.
Starks for 3. And it will be Utah in possession.
You know, it's interesting. The Knicks have their best shooter on the court in many ways in Hubert Davis, and they're not going to him at all. He's got to find his own shots.
4 of 15 from downtown tonight. That November 20th game 2 weeks back at the Garden. 0 for 13 from three-point land. Now Malone backing in. Time forced the pass intended for Stockton, knocked away, and the Jazz with 2 on the 24. 2:22 remaining in this fourth quarter. Utah leads by 5. Stockton, Spencer, too late. 24-second violation.
What a break for the Knicks.
Pat Riley trying to get Patrick Ewing's attention. Yelling high post. Rivers off the dribble to beat Stockton. No help.
Rivers is hurt, though. He's asking to be taken out. Looks like he pulled a muscle in his thigh.
Yes, he's come up hobbling. Oh, he is in pain.
2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes.
Play just continues. Rivers trying to hang in as Bond throws up a 3. Here's Karl Malone. And now the Knicks take a timeout. Karl Malone hitting the jump shot extends to a 95-90 Utah lead.
Doc Rivers showing the effect of an injured leg. It looks like a hamstring injury. He succeeds in getting around John Stockton, makes the layup, and then showed the price of that drive, asking to be taken out. Oh, what an injury to him. Is he in pain?
So John Starks operating at the point guard position. Mason has come on. Here's Starks. Oh, what a move, but did not get the favorable rim. A minute and a half remaining fourth quarter. Utah with the ball and a 5-point lead. Shot clock at 5. Down to 3. And a foul call. The outside official, Darryl Garrettson, pointing at Charles Oakley.
Charles Oakley. The score, it's a penalty situation.
Greg Anthony on the bench now. with the Knicks in need of a point guard situation, and it looks like Hubert Davis out there with John Starks. Starks will be the point guard for the Knicks, as he was in many situations when they came up last season.
Most memorable following the game against the Jazz here in Salt Lake City, when Doc Rivers, because of the suspension, sat out. It was John Starks coming up with a sensational effort at point guard against the Lakers. Combination of Starks and Anthony Mason leading the way in that game. Well, Utah leads 97-90. We come up on 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter.
Knicks have to strike quickly now.
Davis for three. And off the collision, a foul is called against the Jazz. It's on Jeff Malone. But it's clear Pat Riley making a decision to go with John Starks at point guard rather than Greg Anthony, and going with the better shooting combination with Starks and Davis on the floor.
Well, after that blistering first half the Knicks had with 59 points and 57% from the field, they've only racked up 31 points here in the second half.
12-point third quarter. Meanwhile, Utah able to turn it around once again. The photo of Bill Laimbeer flashes on the scoreboard, leading to that reaction from the crowd as Hubert Davis prepares to shoot the free throw.
Somehow I picture Bill Laimbeer hearing about this
and enjoying it
and smiling.
Oh, and they've shifted over to Barney now. 97-92, Utah. Just under 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter.
Jazz will stretch the Knicks out now, using up as much of the half court as they can to open up spaces as the clock winds down.
Jeff Malone kept alive by Felton Spencer. Oh, big bucket by Spencer. And the Knicks call for time.
What time is it? It's time to grow up with Sesame.
Patrick Ewing got into foul trouble, playing with 4 fouls, and Utah has done an excellent job in defending against him with double and triple teams. 36 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Utah now by 7 by virtue of this follow-up by Spencer.
Oh, Spencer from behind gets it done. That's what hurts the most, Marv. When a man is allowed to hurt you when he's behind you. This fellow's had a very important contribution for the Jazz against the Knicks tonight.
11 points and 9 rebounds for Spencer. The Knicks remain the same following the timeout. That pass hit Chambers in the back. So Davis had a chase to the backcourt, wasting a couple of seconds. Starks with the setup for Oakley, rejected by Karl Malone. And the foul is given. Stockton hit in the backcourt by Oakley. Crowd celebrating with 19 seconds remaining. A very strong second half for Utah, and Karl Malone with a spectacular all-around game. 29 points, 15 rebounds, 11 of 21 from the field, and of most significance, hitting that outside jump shot.
Tough, too. A lot of fadeaways.
But the Jazz continue to suffer at the line. Two of the better foul shooters, Jeff Malone and John Stockton, have had problems here. Timeout taken by the Knicks with 19 and 5/10 seconds to go. Oakley will throw in at center court. Starks met by Spencer. And the Knicks now trail 100-94. Pressure by the Knicks. They want to give the foul, and they do. Mason reaching out, just did get a piece of Stockton with 12 and 8/10 seconds remaining.
Well, as usual, it's the combination of Malone and Stockton most prominent here tonight. Both of these fellows last year, as Utah hosted the NBA All-Star game. Foul shooting continues. Both Stockton and Malone enjoyed co-MVP status of that thrilling game here last year.
Utah by 7. 10 seconds left. Knicks can't find a shot. Here's Ewing. 101-96 with 3 seconds remaining. And Mason called for the foul with 1 9/10 seconds left. So Jeff Malone will go to the line. Utah Jazz will make it 4 straight wins and a record of 12-5, while the Knicks will drop to 10-4, and they will have lost 2 of the last 3 games.
Well, Greg Anthony doesn't want to look at what's going on. Hopefully for the Knicks, Doc Rivers will not be out very long. And if he is, we may start to see more of Rolando Blackman in the picture, who's getting over a flu bug he had.
All right, Davis gets it off. And the Jazz defeat the Knicks by the score of 103-96. And they make it a sweep of the 2-game set, winning in New York and winning here in Salt Lake City. Utah Jazz 103 and the New York Knicks 96. We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up in a moment. Second half by Utah. Not a happy picture on the Knick bench. Greg Anthony with hands overhead. And our NatWest Bank's player of the game, Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz. An outstanding night, 29 points and 15 rebounds. 11 of 21 from the field and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Karl Malone did it inside and outside, able to face up and hit the jump shot while guarded by Patrick Ewing. Now a look at the individual scoring rundown. Brought to you by the Jeep Eagle dealers. First for the Jazz, Malone with his 29. That's Karl Malone. Jeff Malone had the hot hand and led a spurt in the third quarter. He finished with 20 points and 8 of 16 from the field. John Stockton, 17 points and 13 assists. Felton Spencer played a major role, 11 points and 9 rebounds, and came on strong in the fourth quarter. For the New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing in foul trouble right throughout. In fact, sat out over 9 minutes of the third quarter. Finished 8 of 16 from the field, 21 points and 9 rebounds. John Starks with 21 points on 9 of 20 from the field. Doc Rivers, who came up lame pulling a hamstring in the final minutes, had 14. Charles Oakley with 12 points and 8 rebounds. And Anthony Mason had 12 points. So Utah 103 and the Knicks 96. The Utah Jazz with their 4th straight win. They go to 12-5. The Knicks now 10 up and 4 down.
Training camp about 3 hours away in St. George, Utah, and I'm hitting the weights as hard as I ever hit them, so I feel just fine. Coach always say, "Carl, you okay? You okay?" I said, "Coach, I'm all right. Just let me play." So it's a little different now.
You're looking fine, and you've certainly felt fine tonight, Carl, and it was pretty obvious to the Knicks. Thanks for visiting with us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Karl Malone, the star of the game, certainly. Now let's go back to Marv Albert.
All right, John really has a great way with young children, doesn't he? Puts the charm on. All our guests receive the American Express gift check. Think of it as a universal certificate that can be used to buy anything just about anywhere. Gift checks available where American Express traveler's checks are sold. And some of our guests receive a watch from Fendi of the 900 series, registered Italian design, finely crafted in Switzerland with an ETA quartz movement for precision timekeeping. The Fendi Timepiece Collection available at select Macy's stores. We'll be back in a moment. And the Bud Dunk of the game.
Yes, Patrick Ewing getting the ball down low, wheeling and dealing on Felton Spencer, getting rid of Tyrone Corbin and the mailman for the Bud Dunk of the game.
But the final score, the Utah Jazz over the New York Knicks, 103-96.